Well, hello, my babies. I don't feel like doing my hair and makeup, and that's why we have the camera off today. I don't want to scare nobody. As we're talking about tonight's subject and everything, dealing with the, isolation and going within self and physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, doing that detox, as part of your shadow work and the benefits that helps you with your health mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Oh, real quick, our fellow spiritual advisor of Indigo Psychics, which is our main sponsor of our show here on Indigo Psychics TV, Spiritual Tea Time with RevPayshence. We have Miranda's giving kisses. Back to you, girl. And the Baroness says, hello. How's California dreaming going for you, Baroness? Are you loving life? I hope so, because you deserve it, baby. Like we're saying, tonight's show, we're going to be talking about, the experiences and everything that we go through in life that requires, the isolation that we need to do and everything. And hold on. Give me just 1 second. Ooh. Okay. All right. Baroness Lisa says it's beautiful here. Many blessings from Yamaya. Oh, thank you for confirmation. That's my titi girl. In certain traditions of the Caribbean, I'm crowned as to what they call Dos Aguas, which is to Oshun and Yamaya. And Oshun is my mama and my titi is Yamaya. I'm not going to give any other information about my spiritual court, but thank you for the confirmation. And Miss Lavinia says, good evening, and thank you for another marvelous guest. Yes, she is one of our lovely spiritual advisors. Her name is Elizabeth Beke, and she is here. Hello, gorgeous. How are you? Thank you for joining us tonight. How's everything going?
Everything's going great. Wonderful. I couldn't be better.
Amen. Especially through this journey, like we're talking about tonight's show, all the, the major, progressions of healing that you've been through this isolation and going through the physical and mental and emotional and spiritual detoxing of yourself. Please give the listeners that are listening on the show tonight what it has been your experience through this healing process.
Well, it's been interesting because the first thing that happens is you find yourself on a part of your journey where your old way of healing isn't working anymore.
Amen.
And that for me was traditional medications and things like that. And now I'm not saying anybody should ever stop their medications. What I'm saying is my medications quit working. And so I did a med wash. And when I did that med wash, I just felt like I needed to be alone. So I got rid of all my social media. And I just quit everything that was like a dopamine suck and let myself get bored. And as I was letting myself get bored, my body started feeling better. My mind started getting quieter. It's hard to explain everything that was going on, but the things that my meds used to do for me didn't work. So now this is working.
Right.
And, as the rest of the world kind of went away, I could hear my spirit guides and my ancestors again so very loud. And
I bet you did. A lot of people, because of the effects of always being on the phone and dealing with the internet and everything and what it does to us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. For some people, it's like a bad drug, like crack or heroin or fentanyl or whatever you want to call it,
It is an addiction.
And so as you're going, what were some of like withdrawals that were not so fun that people could, might expect when going through this type of detox?
Well, the first thing is, if you do what I did and do a med wash, you have to withdraw from like physical medications. Um, Withdrawing from society, you get a lot of people, where are you? What's going on? What's wrong? And you have to explain, like, oh, nothing's wrong. I just need some space. And a lot of people don't understand that, or they say they do, but they don't really get it. So you kind of feel emotionally and socially isolated. And if you are constantly looking for that approval and things like that, you just want to come running back to all your friends. And
Right.
you can't be tempted to do that, because your real friends are going to be there for you when you're done.
Exactly.
And I mean, I got headaches, I got colds, sinus issues, because your body. I think spiritual people are half in, half out. So our
Yes.
bodies tend to get like immune responses. That's just something I've observed, whether
I,
it's true or not.
I agree with you. Since I been myself have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I see that a lot of fellow spiritual people have that problem because of being so sensitive to energies, it's manifested physically in the body, and they don't know how to
Yeah.
control.
And I mean, when you're half in, half out, you're in two different worlds, and uh, your antenna just can't keep you all in, And so yeah,
Exactly.
you're physically sick, and then you
Mhm.
start seeing things from a different perspective. And I think that's probably one of the most painful things, is like, you reflect on yourself, like, oh my gosh, I said that. Oh my gosh, I did that. What was
Yeah.
wrong with me? And yeah, there's a lot of pain. I mean, healing is more painful than the original injury. It
Oh
really
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah. But it's a necessary pain to go through, so you
Hmm.
know what the wisdom of the situation was and what you learned from it, and learn to let go of that and to move forward, so you don't go back to that same situation, so you're not being sabotaged from living your best life that you deserve to live.
Right.
Baroness Lisa says self-care is crucial. Amen, sister. And people in mass do not understand this and what it needs to be done to truly heal. It's very true. The thought of, reminiscing and, oh my God, dealing with, because of dealing with that pain, they refuse. And so they're stuck emotionally, mentally, at, a certain age. That's why when things trigger them and everything, they look like a grown adult, but they're, acting like a 5-year-old, when they're
Oh,
not getting away. Because they refuse to work on what hurt that child, that inner child in them when they were little, you know?
yeah, no, I agree. And it's okay to have that response the first few times, because you're triggering it and you're learning it. But after a while, like, if you can identify the problem, you got to work on it. People are addicted to like the process of healing now. I don't know why. Um, and I only preface that because healing is constant. You're going to constantly work on yourself. That's part of what you do. But staying, like, I'm trying to come out of my hermit mode. Staying in this space for a long time is also not healthy.
Yes. Yes. Because they start using it as an avoidance tactic,
Yeah.
where they plateau on the healing process, and they're in avoidance mode of everything. And, and so, yeah, I highly agree with that. You got to be, but being introverts like we are and stuff, you go out into the world and you realize, okay, this is why I run back to my house.
Yeah. And I think there's a difference between being an introvert
Oh yeah,
and being adverse to everything and everybody. But
true,
like
true.
today I wanted to go swimming really bad. I love swimming. It's my sanctuary. But the only swimming place is full of people right now, and I don't want to be around that many people.
Mm.
So, you know,
Yeah, and see, I live out in the country, and we have plenty of room in our yard to build one. But living in Minnesota and dealing with our winters and the process, like you have to empty it halfway and do all this stuff to it every year to prep it for winter. It's too much work, man. And it's like, you know what? Get me my little kiddie pool, fill it up halfway. I put my little low lounging chair. I got
yeah.
little shade. I got it's a low. Normally they have them on the beach, and it comes with like a little overhead cabana thing and everything. I set it right in the middle of the kiddie pool. Dogs are playing outside in the backyard, doing my thing. Dude, I've recently seen a thing where it's inflatable adult kiddie pool, lounge pool that has on one side big enough pocket in it that you can fill it with ice and drinks to hold up at least a 6-pack, and then
Oh
the other
wow.
has drink holder for you and everything, and it has a blow up pillow that's attached to it and everything. But the only thing is that looks fabulous for like self care day when you're taking the day off, turning off the phone, just relaxing out in the sun. My dogs would, oh my god,
Uh-huh.
especially my puppy. I have a black lab, Freya. She's a year and a half. She's a born stubborn as shit, and she would think, oh, let's go play. So there would be no self-care time at that moment.
No, Nara would do the same thing. She would kill it, but
And
we live right by on a river lake area,
yes.
and we're supposed to be getting a private pool for our little community that I'm in.
Oh,
Well, not a pool, but a private beach.
but still, that's
Yeah.
girl, yes. And big difference in going to a big giant public pool. But I remember taking swimming lessons at some of those, and I would get anxiety attacks. Because on the weekends, everybody and their mother would be there, and even though it's a big, huge, giant Olympic pool, everybody in the fucking neighborhood would be there. And, oh, I remember having anxiety attacks about it when I was a kid. That's why when we
It's not just so many people there. After I started going on my inner journey, I went out to the beach area that we have here, the public beach area, to swim a few times. And
okay,
when I was younger, I used to have little kids come up to me all the time, just come up to me out of nowhere, and we were best friends. It's a little creepy when it starts happening with a 40-year-old woman. Like, they come up to me out of nowhere, and I don't know where their mom is, and they're like, "Hi, are you a mermaid?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm a mermaid. Cool."
oh Jesus,
So,
okay.
yeah, I don't get peace. I just the kids. I don't know. I'm a mermaid.
Girl, I wanted to be one so bad. Oh my
I
God.
love selkies and kelpies. I love kelpies.
Yes, yes, yes. I could go ride the waves on a Kelpie. That would be fun.
Just as long as you don't get drowned.
Well, thank God I'm a good swimmer.
But
Chanel
that's the
20
other thing.
Badger says, hello, all. Thanks for joining us tonight, honey.
Hi.
And like I said before, we're talking on tonight's episode with our fellow spiritual advisor, Miss Elizabeth, about the importance of taking that time of self care. And see, the main thing I've seen, because I used to have the same problem myself, and then once I got over it, I've been seeing a lot, and that's where my tough love comes in. Because people get ashamed because they're beaten by these narcissists to feel guilty for having boundaries because you're not at their beck and call anymore. Especially the energy vamps,
Yeah.
and so it's like oh, but that's my family or that's my intimate so and so or my no, it don't matter if they can't respect it. You need 20 minutes for yourself at least, just to have some me time and everything. Then I don't give a damn who it is. You need to say, go sit over there, dude. I love you to death, but I ain't dealing with your ass.
Yep.
You
You definitely have to do that.
need to stop feeling that guilt, boundary guilt. Don't feel, that's not being narcissistic. No, that's you. Sometimes you got to do that, and you need to realize, because a lot of people are stay so stuck in denial about they're a people pleaser because that inner
Yeah.
child and that rejection because they didn't get the proper. A lot of us Gen Xers go through that because of how feral we grew up.
Well, and,
So,
and the other side of that is like the people who don't want to leave somebody alone for 20 minutes because they feel rejected or something. That happens too. And going inward and saying, I need this alone time, you're learning how the other person feels. And you're learning that maybe now that you need your space, maybe you're having more compassion. Then you start feeling like a hypocrite. I mean, there's all these emotions that go along with
oh yeah,
basing yourself because like, oh, I got annoyed at such and such for this. Wait, that's something I do. Am I that annoying? Yes. Yes, you are. And it's okay. You just have to work through it and not hate yourself for it, you know?
Exactly. And you work on the aspect of learning and studying and finding out, as you learn about yourself, what causes that trigger for you to
Hmm.
act that way. And so, and then as you learn about it, you learn what you can do not to do that, and make through that self-discipline of flipping the script and focusing on something else instead of okay, I felt the emotion, this, but I'm not going to stay in it. That's the whole want behind that, man. Too many people, want everything because of that quick gratification,
Yeah.
culture the world is. They expect everything, especially the younger generations, everything handed to them. And so when you try to let them know that your life is the great work, that you constantly have to work at things, bettering yourself as a person, it's a daily process that you got to want to do, but you can make it, little changes in your lifestyle, to improve. They think you have to do all this dramatic stuff and then they get overwhelmed and freaked. No, man, simple little changes.
Yep.
Like I've talked about before on the show, using aromatherapy, using a different, sense in your cleaning products, your body wash, to help you with your daily process of healing.
And do
Listen.
one little thing every day.
Exactly.
Everybody gets something big. Like, you know, when you're in depression, you get messy. Everybody does. That's what depression's
Mhm.
part of it. So trying to get out of depression, you have 10 dishes next to your bed. Take one. Just take one into the kitchen and wash it. Just take one. And then do
Exactly.
it again the next time you get out of bed. And that it's just little tiny things like that that you get through it all.
Because it starts the movement of energy
Mhm.
and everything. And that's why I highly recommend doing, like the lavender, because it's been medically and spiritually proven to dispel depression and negative thoughts. And everybody now, from chemical to all natural, you can find it in everything for household products, body products, you name it, they have it in lavender scent. And if you
Yeah.
don't like lavender, do citrus. Lemon and orange is great for that. And also, if you really need a good deep funk and everything, get the old fashioned pine sol, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And just work at one room at a time. Put your favorite music on that brings back good memories. So I'm hitting it like the 80s from when I'm like in junior high type shit. Bring out the girly girl. Because when I used to go to my best friend's house, we used to put the oldies on and just bebop around, or some new wave or whatever, and just bebop around the house. And you don't think about it. Like Snow White had it right. Whistle while you work, because it makes it fun. And it
Oh,
helps generate that positive energy to help dispel that. And, and just work on one. Because, like, because my OCD, I would have my house when I first moved up here where I live with my husband. I would clean my house in 3.5 hours, top to bottom, with no problem. Now, because of physical problems, I'm lucky I can do one room at a time without being in severe pain and
yeah.
everything. And so I had to process that. Girl, do you want to talk about major depression with ADHD and OCD and all that other kind of
Mhm.
bipolar and everything? And but I worked through it, and now I make sure I take my time. I literally broke myself down and made a list. Like how some of our mamas used to make the famous chore list. I
Mhm.
had it for myself. On this day, I only do this. Even though a part of me, might, even though I'm on a roll, no, stop. You're only doing this today. You
Yeah.
know, trust me, it took me a good 10 years to get where I'm at, being able to do that without feeling triggered. And
Yeah, because it's self-discipline, but you also just you want to get it done because you don't want to disappoint yourself or anybody else. You just
right.
want to get it done, but it's better to say I'm doing this today and only this because my body will rebel if I do more than that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Trust me, my body's a stubborn Capricorn as me being a Capricorn, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, and I had to explain it to one of my friends, like, they talk about being 40 or 50 or off the plane, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but we're on the 3D. We are here on the 3D for a reason. And if we don't master the 3D, we're not going to move to 4 and we're not going to move to 5. We're going to keep on the 3D. So
Exactly.
you got to master this level before you can move on to the next. And some of us just happen to be able to sense the next. And that's where our trouble is.
Because we're stuck between two worlds, man.
Yep.
And for a lot of us, it's, it is physically, mentally, emotionally taking a toll of us because, a lot of us, that are coming into this are at first, we're not, because of being so conditioned by society and our technology and bullshit, that now that this is happening, they feel like they're going crazy. And, so they find it refreshing that they can come to someone like us and make them realize, no, this is what's going on. You're coming into these certain gifts, and this is what you need to do to help, I can help guide you to help, how to control things. Because so many people, even though they tried and tried and tried, that third eye is popping open. And they're wondering why they're having those severe headaches right in the middle of their forehead, like a spear has gone through it. And stuff. That's what's happening. Because as a collective, we're going through the 5D. I know it sounds crazy, but if you study on it, you'll understand. If you know, about how literally we're splitting into two worlds. The 3D is still going to go, and it's not going to be nice. And then if you're really working on yourself and everything, you're going to, be with the 5D where everything is, more spiritual and loving and everyone cares for each other type thing, because going, that's why during this time, if you really want to be, like as it's proven the multiverse, a bunch of different, it all depends on what vibration you get yourself. So as you're into this isolation, you need to look at and realize within yourself, if you get to know yourself, what vibration do you want to be on and everything. And as you realize the higher of love vibration you're finding toward yourself, you're going to realize you're going to start, because we're walking magnets. Those vibrational people are not going to, they're going to fall off. Some kicking and screaming, some of them just natural. It's just going to happen because they're, low vibrational universe and your high vibrational, as I say, quantum line jumping that you're doing for yourself because you're raising your high love vibration for self. You're not going to, be able to stay in both worlds. And you just got to realize, what? I just got to keep moving forward. I can't, that low vibration.
It doesn't matter how much you want somebody to come with you too. It could be, a friend, a lover, your kid. I mean, if they don't want to go, they're not going to go.
Exactly. Like the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. My favorite saying is you can lead a human to knowledge, but you can't make them think.
This is very true. Well, that's actually the kind of culmination of this where I'm starting to come out of it is a few years ago, I started hearing messages and it was all I considered is like an initiation type of thing. But I was hearing those messages and then they stopped when I left my ex.
Right.
Trauma, they started coming back after I cleansed everything. And so now I'm being asked to build up from the past, but leaving my past behind at the same time. Like just this little piece that they wanted me to follow that thread. So that's where I'm going with that from now into the future.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm the type person, when I see my beloveds growing and blossoming and becoming the beautiful queens and flowers that they should be, it makes my heart sing. That's what I'm here for. Is to help see you ladies, become your best selves so you can help others become their best selves. Because, if we don't work on our healing, how can we be out there, helping others? Because some of us have that guilt that as soon as we take any time for anything for ourselves, because of family, society, whatever, has drilled it in us, especially as women, we feel guilty for it,
Yeah.
And that's why you see so many mothers and everything, especially, being burnt out, you know, because between having to work, take care of the kids, got to clean the house, got to pay the bills, got to do this, do that, and everything, but nobody's taking care of her or allowing her to even have 20 minutes for herself.
Yep.
And then you wonder why the woman's sick in bed, still trying to take care of the house and make bill, make bread and everything.
Yep.
Baroness Lisa says, if they can't grow with you, they can't go with you. Amen, sister. Say it one more
Right.
time for the seats in the back, baby. Okay. Channel 23, Honey Badger says, one of my buddies said that he had quit teaching pigs how to sing, and he was hilarious. It's funny you would say pigs and everything, and I was just thinking about Mama Freya today. I love her, goddess of love, sex, and war. Can't go wrong. And she loves, besides kitty cats, she loves rabbits, and she loves pigs and boars. Yummy, yummy. I'm not, girl. I can't help it. I've been talking with Mother Nature since I got home and everything this morning, and now I think it's like, I need to fry me up some bacon for the go on top. I'm making fully loaded baked potatoes tonight.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yep, I baked them off with olive oil, garlic powder, onion powder, sea salt, and black pepper for at 450 for an hour, and then I'm letting them rest while we do the show. And then when we're done, my daughters are doing bacon and cheese, and then my husband's and mine we're doing broccoli and cheese with bacon.
Mm.
And then, of course, I have to put sour cream and chives when they're done.
Well, of course.
Well, the thing is, we ain't got a close Wendy's or a good restaurant that has a really big fat potato. They give you just itty little potato and everything, and they're charging outrageous prices. It's like, screw that. Luckily, I have farmers that live around and know how to grow big, giant ones.
That's good.
Oh my
We have a
God.
nice couple restaurants around here, but like I live out in the country. So we got like a small little circle farmers market and a diner, and there's one good restaurant with a bar.
Yeah. We live just outside of a town. Technically, our area is called Whited Township, and it's a population of 67.
Oh, that's nice.
And because it's so small, it's part of Brook Park. And funny thing is, Brook Park is the next county over. 12. The post office 12 miles away, but yet we live outside of a little town called Mora, named after Mora, Sweden. It's the sister city to it, and a little, I think they got like 3,500 people, and we live like 6.9 miles outside of there. That's
I
how
think what
far.
I love about the small town.
But yep, we got to go all the way down to Brook Park. Gotta love being in the country.
Yeah.
But one thing is great though, when the leaves are off the trees, I don't see my neighbors, even though we got neighbors. Because everybody, has big. Thank God, where I live in Minnesota, land is cheap. So we were able to. We got ourselves a fixer-upper HUD home, and it's
Oh,
been.
okay.
My husband and my father-in-law had bought it, like for 42,000. But girl,
Oh,
you should have seen the condition it was in when they sent me videos. There was like punched holes in the walls. When they lifted up the carpet, it looked like a freaking sandbox.
oh,
The house was built in 73, and we just been, because he's a Capricorn too. And so for us, we're literally been, like I said, for the last 10 years, a little bit every year we pick a project that, we could afford to do at the time. And we work together, to improve, to make this home ours and everything.
that's
And
beautiful though.
because like we take our vacation around our anniversary and everything, and because when we originally got married we didn't have a honeymoon, and so that's when we take our vacation. And my ladies that I take care of, they're like, Oh, where are you going on your vacation? I'm taking a staycation. They're like, huh? What's that? I'm taking a vacation at my house. They're like, what? I said,
Yep.
I deliberately am. It's not anything big and fancy, but it's my home, and I strongly believe you should. Your home should be your sanctuary from the outside world. Your place of joy, and that's why I do daily things, to keep it that way, type of things. Besides us yearly, picking a project to improve as we can afford it and everything. Hopefully, this year's project will be new siding finally.
That'll be fun. I'm gonna be painting my house yellow and colonial blue.
Oh, yes, baby. That's going to be awesome. Definitely you send me pictures when you're done.
I will.
Real quick, we need to do a shout out. Brother Danny Chin out there in San Fran says, hi, y'all. Peace and blessings upon everyone. Thank you for joining us, sweetie.
Thank
And
you. Hello.
hello, Danny. Do you feel like doing some reading, son?
Sure.
All
My
right.
disclaimer is my ancestors are not permitting me to use tarot cards right now. So
That's
I am
fine.
practicing with my intuition. So
That's fine.
take it with a grain of salt.
Girl,
I'm gonna
that's
try
fine.
this though.
Don't doubt yourself. That's like I tell the babies when they're practicing and everything. Go with the first. I mean, you'll hear it. Loud and clear. And what you hear spirit yelling at you, just say it.
All right.
Don't doubt it. Don't sugarcoat it. You just say, "I'm hearing in my ear." Blah blah blah.
All right.
And cause trust me, I used to be self conscious about that. And Stephanie, when I was first training up, we all do that. But you just let it flow. You
All
know.
right.
And if it relates, it relates. If it don't, c'est la vie. you know, we still human, baby. All
Can't get
right.
anywhere without practice.
Exactly, girl. Exactly. All right, everyone. Put your questions in the comments. We're gonna start spilling the tea for y'all. She'll be using her intuition, and I'll be throwing some cards, even though it's off camera. I'll let you know what card it is. All right. Chanel says she'll be right back. Potty break. Do, 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 do. I gotta be facetious, girl. Oh, actually, I got my Crow Oracle deck. Let's see what a theme needs to be about. While we're waiting, somebody brave enough to put a question in the comments. Let's see what maybe the collective needs to know in general. Ooh, we got ghosts coming up. Ancestors are wanting to speak on y'all.
Here they come.
Oh, that's funny. When I said that about the card, Danny posts, what do the crows at my office represent, blessed Reverend Patience? Ghosts, your ancestors. You need
Yep,
to pay attention.
they're often messengers, your ancestors.
I've been seeing them quite consistently for some time. Your ancestors are trying to talk to you. And they know that I'm the keeper of the crows, baby. Okay? That's the deck I always use when I talk to you.
And just remember, crows are extremely intelligent. Talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to them. If they are calling at you, say hello.
Like ravens, they can hold some grudges too, so you better bring them treats.
Say
Yeah,
hello. Definitely treats for them.
All right, let's see what these ancestors, the ghosts, because usually that's what the crows represent, It's the ancestors trying to talk to you. And see, in Chinese culture, especially with the Qin dynasty and everything, they were considered good luck. Because the one dowager, when she was born, there was crows everywhere circling the palace. Sorry, I'm a proud nerd. Thank you. I love my history. Whatever heartache, Three of Swords that you've been going through, it's going to be over soon. You got the Three of Swords going into the Six of Swords. You'll be going to calm waters. So just keep on working on your healing process, and everything that you've been wanting to manifest is going to come through.
I'm seeing him from the eyes of the crow, and everything's spinning around him.
Yep.
Everything is spinning around him, and he's in the center trying to remain calm. And there's something about focusing on your feet. There's something about maybe the way your path, because you're watching your feet as I'm watching you from the crow's eyes. You're watching your feet. So there's something you need to watch where you're going.
Yes, exactly. And also too, it's the chaos around them, because too much both him and his twin have for years been trying to control the chaos. The only chaos you need to control is one's mind, not the chaos around you. Because once you control the chaos in the mind and quiet the mind, the energy will fall in suit, if that makes sense. Oh, his brother. Speak of the devil, I just said his brother. David says hello and blessings to all.
Hello.
That's Danny's brother. Welcome, David. Let's see. Any other cards that he needs to know? Yep. I have the Two of Pentacles, and on this card that I have of the Crow card, you'll see it looking like the figure eight, the infinity symbol, balancing out between you two, keeping each other in check. So you're not falling into that triggering mindset, getting rid of that lack mindset, so you guys can keep moving forward, letting go of controlling the chaos around you. The only thing we control is the chaos within, which is the mind. Once you have control of thought and mind, you're unstoppable. But the problem is your mind is all over the place. So you need to balance out the chaos within, and everything will manifest a lot quicker. You'll be here before you know it. Especially when Mercury retrograde comes.
I keep hearing watch pot never boils, and
Yep.
they are alluding to how some particles behave differently when you observe them.
Mm-hmm.
So
they literally get performance shy.
Yeah. So there's something you're supposed to watch, but there's also something you're not supposed to watch.
Exactly. Even in the movie Kung Fu Panda, Tortoise says, you sit there and you plant the seed and you expect the fruit the next day. It does not. You need time for it to grow. You have to nurture it and to be at peace. And when the time is right, it will bear fruit on its own time, not your time. And that's the problem. So many of us expect everything because of the type culture we live in. We're instantaneously. We gotta have it.
If the brothers happen to work with the Fae at all, I keep getting the feeling like right now is a time they are being observed by the Fae.
Very interesting. Must be from that European ancestry that they have in the family. Oh, yeah. I have that 70s song. Everybody was kung fu. I'm sorry, guys. Dude, I used to play that on 45 big time when I was a kid. Dude. Somebody's anticipating something. About new direction. Don't be afraid. Go with the flow. Oh, I know, baby girl. Honey Badger said this. I had to take my puppy outside the mosquitoes in Florida. I said, no, honey, I'm from Florida, baby. I know what them swamp demons are. Whoo, girl. They're big enough to carry you away. All right. Now, David wants to know updates or messages on the path that I'm currently walking on.
I see fog on the path.
That's funny that you said that because, girl, your intuition is on point. I was shuffling the cards, and I literally have in my oracle deck with the crows a fog card, and that's what popped out. I just had to pick it up.
Yeah, it's so quiet too. You walk right into it. It is so quiet, like it's surrounding you. So you're not gonna be able to see your next steps at all. You're not gonna be able to see them. You have to have faith that they're there, that the path is there, and you just got to keep going forward.
Bottom of the deck is the risk card, and with the fog and what you just said, what that is telling me, like I had told his brother, because they work in like yin and yang, the way twins work, especially in their martial arts, about calming that chaos within so you can see through the fog. Do not try to use the physical eyes for the fog of the situation. You need to be using your third eye, the spiritual, so you can get the clarity that you need, if that makes sense. Let me see. Let me see if the tarot cards. Girl, the cards want to jump all over tonight. What happened? Hey, Froggy, you feeling froggy? Ribbit, jump. Oh yeah. And as you do that risk, and and not be scared, and moving forward through the fog, using your mind's eye, you'll come out the other side, because the sun card come out. The fog will be cleared, and you'll be shining bright, and you'll be happy. I mean, the sun is the most happiest, joyous card in the deck. Okay, success, everything. All right, so like I said, keep yourself focused and everything. And I'm hearing you need to put some sunflowers in your house. I know that's not usually Chinese tradition, but something about sunflowers need to be somewhere in the house. If that makes sense. Danny says, thank you both. And
You're
David,
welcome.
okay, makes sense. Thank you for the update. That's what we're here for. We're glad to be able to be of service, because we want everyone living their best life. And that's what we do here. Our spiritual advisors, as Miss Elizabeth or myself, we're here to help guide you. We're not going to hold your hand. All right. Because you got to put that work in. All right. It's important that you take the little baby steps. What's the famous saying that they say, from the masters? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
That's it.
And then baby steps add up. I mean, just like for myself, I, especially with you have my type of thing with the ADHD, writing lists or making a vision board of your list, or vision boards in general of what the goal you're trying to manifest, helps you stay focused. So
Yeah, foci are extremely important, and words. I mean, creation of words. Words are so important. The value of being silent and then only speaking the words you need to speak is, I can't even express how valuable that is.
And checking yourself when you find yourself speaking, because people don't realize how much self-abuse talk they do to themselves because they're so conditioned to it. They don't realize. I constantly will see them posting about it or talking to them in a session, and I'll check them. It's like so they recognize it and everything, because we need that outside voice to make us see sometimes, because we don't realize, because we're so conditioned in our negativity of self and everything, that's why we need the outside guidance to help us, make us sometimes see what we refuse or just can't see because it's so repressed. And so as we're, certain triggers are happening and everything, it's like, oh, dude, this is what's going on. All right, instead of saying this and this and this, how about we try this? And so when next time that comes up, you literally got to stop yourself and think sometimes, so you're not saying, because even Bruce Lee used to say, our bodies don't know the concept of a joke when you're speaking that negativity. All right. That soaks into your freaking cells, you know?
Because it actually activates parts of your brain that release chemicals. So even though something isn't happening, you're just remembering it, you're just thinking about it, you're just fantasizing, your body is literally already reacting to it. So it's
Yeah,
affecting you whether or not it's happening.
exactly. Exactly. So when you refuse to work on what it is that causes those negative triggers within self, you're literally making your poor body physically, mentally, emotionally relive it down to the DNA cellular level.
Yep.
It's when you do your psychological studies and everything, it's been proven that this happens. And that's why I work through energy work through the frequencies, because it works down, and taking advantage of your sleep. And they're starting to actually implement this healing process in hospitals now, especially in pediatric ECUs, ICUs, and which makes my heart sing because all you got to do is play, the frequency behind some nice relaxing music and go to sleep because all those self-sabotaging mindsets, triggers, and filters are turned off. And so it goes straight to that, down. And like when you do the 528 frequency, it literally goes down to the cellular level. It's been proven scientifically to help you regenerate. So as you regenerate those cells and make new cells and everything and help with the process of your body's natural cell making thing, that negative energy is literally physically dispelled in the old cells that your body is releasing. And that's how you can do that traumatic healing process without being triggered as compared to other normal healing processes. They're starting to learn as they study about this type of energy work, which I'm
Hmm.
so grateful that they're starting to recognize. But the funny thing is, in some cultures, our ancestors knew about this stuff thousands of years ago, and we're actually relearning what they already knew. You know,
Yep.
there's a method behind the madness, as they say. And I'm grateful for it. It's helped me heal myself 3 times of cancer.
Well, there you
Um,
go. I'm telling you, I started those subliminals when you told me to a year ago.
mm,
And it took a little while, but they work.
yeah,
They absolutely work.
like I said, you just have to be consistent, and it's just make it a part of your nightly routine, or when you take a nap of some sort. Or there's even ones, like I said, that you can listen to while you're awake. I usually recommend, especially when you got ADHD, like I do, and you can focus on more than one voice at a time. Use those what they call the guided meditations, where you have them speaking, especially with the ones where it's like 3 or 4 people at a time and stuff. um
Yeah, there's one I like. It's the Isn't It Wonderful mindset meditation.
hmm
And the one I like the best has this guy and a girl, and there's like 4 or 5 different messages going at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And I can hear all of them, but I just kind of like force myself to let it become background noise.
Oh yeah, because we have that ability, with our type of mindset, and also another good channel to check out. I have a lot of them on our playlist here on Indigo Psychics TV. Is I highly recommend is Rockstar Affirmations, and they usually have 2 versions of their guided meditation. You'll hear like 6 different voices, both male and female, and they have one where it's strictly just the voices, and then they have it with music, same script and everything, but then they add music in the background because some people need that music, you know what I mean, which I get. And I use a lot of them, especially when I'm awake and everything, just resting, where I know I'm not gonna go in deep sleep, but you're in that lucid state, of just relaxing, and you can,
Hmm.
so I just put it on a loop. And, if I can lay down for more, because usually their average video is about 30 minutes long. They're called Rockstar Affirmations. They cover everything, girlfriend, from relationships to whatever type of career you could think of, you name it. Help with your social media popularity, growing your business, court cases, you name it. And so, because not everyone is into just listening to the new age frequency, and I get it. That's why I have those lists, our playlist here on our TV channel here of a major variety from Reiki music to pure tones to Savaggio frequencies. Some of them are the nature sound with the frequencies embedded. Some of them are nature sounds and affirmations. Some of them are Hindu mantras, but they all, granted, they're different to the physical ear, but they're all the same of the aspect. They all work on the subconscious, and they're trying to heal a certain aspect of what, it is embedded on your subconscious that's not serving your highest good and helping you, you know, heal yourself, because the most powerful thing in the world is the mind. And it's a lot more powerful than, mankind in general has been led to believe. You know, ask any of the great Buddhist monks, especially the ones from Tibet, they're
Yeah,
living proof.
definitely. And, I like to, because we live in America and it's still predominantly Christian, I like to put it into a Christian perspective too. God said that we could do whatever he can do. And he spoke everything into existence. So we
Exactly.
can too. And that's
Our
where our
bodies are
mind comes in.
vessels. Yes, we all have God within us. That's why, like it says in Acts, our body is a temple. That's why when they try to tell me I have to go to some physical building, I said, no, the hell I don't. I am the temple,
Mhm.
bitch. And I decorate it how I want. When they try to tell
Mhm.
me about tattoos. Okay. You ever been into any type of church, no matter if it's Protestant or Catholic, it's decorated to the gill. Okay.
Oh,
In
it
one
is. With
shape or form.
symbols even. Magical symbols everywhere.
Exactly. So if I want to have tattoos on my temple, I'm going to. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I know in some cultures they're taboo. I don't care. Kiss my ass. When it comes to that part, I'll decorate how, I'll be respectful, and when I'm out in public and, cover up, when I'm at certain functions or whatever, I have no problem with that. But when I'm in my own personal home, don't come lecturing to me and telling me I'm condemned to hell because I got a pretty picture somewhere on my body. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's because, like I tell people, our walks, our paths are all different. Some of them are similar in some ways, but yet they are our own personal path. And our path is our business between source and us. I don't condemn anybody. As long as you're showing your fellow human being and, love and respect, do your thing, boo. You know, that's between you and whatever you call your higher power, man. And people need to learn to respect that, because there's a grain of truth in everything, man. No one way is perfect. So
Yeah.
that's why we have such a variety of spiritual advisors here on Indigo Site, you know. So you can pick and choose who, suits you best. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but one thing is common factor. Granted, we have different styles of getting the message across to you. We all want to see you live your best life, and we all deserve to live our most best life deliciously as possible.
Most
And you,
definitely.
and you can do that by helping your fellow man. Because the people remember law of reciprocity, especially during Mercury retrogrades. Take advantage of that law. The more you bless others, the more you receive back. Okay, so you need money, give it, even if it's a penny. That will come back to you multiplied. Especially if you keep saying that everything you put out circulates back to you. You
Yes, it
know,
does.
so girl, we've been having so much fun.
I
I'm so
loved
glad.
this. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're a regular baby.
Now
So
we just need to
definitely.
go ghost hunting together.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Well, we're still working on the traveling thing. Hopefully, we were hopefully being able to do it this year, but we realized because we bought a gently used antique RV. It's a 1988 Telstar, and
Ooh.
she needs a little, few more upgrades where I feel safe enough to be traveling out of state, because that's my goal. I want to start doing events that are close to our different spiritual advisors, and you guys come hang out with us and sell coffee and do readings and at different pagan and spiritual events and stuff. But for right now, like I said, we need to do a little more tweaking
Yeah,
before I feel comfortable traveling, hundreds of miles to go anywhere. But that will definitely be the goal for next year. I want to,
that sounds
I,
perfect.
oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, and so everyone, please, keep everyone in prayers. My especially down there in Florida, they've been hit with some major flooding because of these tropical storms. My heart goes out to my friends and family because I am from that lovely state. Yeah, Honey Badger says she's in the RV right now. Honey, make sure you buckle down and everything. If you can, try to see if you can move your RV to higher ground because it's going to be a nasty, nasty hurricane season.
I
La
have
Nina.
family in Bushnell, and they're doing pretty good. Might be
Yeah.
it's a little bit more inland though.
Oh, I know, honey, but from the dreams I've been starting to have about
Oh,
this, yeah, I got a Pisces moon, and I normally don't have prophetic dreams about natural disasters, but I've been having them about certain dates lately. I, this is the first time I publicly talked about it, you know,
I'm
and
glad you did. So I will keep an
put
eye
it
on my
this
mom.
my friends and family in Florida, I've been hinting to them that this summer they need to come up and visit. I got enough, a big enough backyard. I got 5 acres. Y'all come camp out, bring your RVs, whatever. If you're not staying in the house, because I have a real strong feeling that this is because I love meteorology. That was one of my, I wanted to be a meteorologist when I was a little girl,
Hmm.
and I still one of my big time hobbies studying about the weather patterns. And I was watching a video of this meteorologist comparing the waters from when Katrina hit in 2005 to what our waters are now. Girl, the temperatures we are at, put it this way, down in Florida in the month of May, it's supposed to be like between 70 to 75 for the waters. They were 90 degrees, and they're expecting them to hit the hundreds come June and July.
That's so weird that you're mentioning that because the other day I had a dream and I was begging my mom for pain meds. I woke up and my body was so inflamed that I couldn't move and I was in so much pain. And I only get that bad of pain when Florida is about to get hurricanes.
I know. I know. I
And
feel
I'm in
you.
Ohio. There's no reason for that, but oh, ouch.
Yes. Yes. I'm putting this out there now. Um, I had a dream that around September 15th, there's going to be, for the first time on record, according to the dream, a F6. It will be over 550 miles at plus an hour winds, about 2,500 miles wide, and they're going to name him Gordon, like Gordon Ramsay on a tantrum.
Jeez.
So, yeah, and I was pretty accurate about April 6th earthquake. The problem was I confused the building that toppled over in Taiwan for a building that they have in Chinatown in San Francisco. So that's why I thought it
It'd
was
be
good.
perfect.
But yeah,
So
but
you're seeing that big of a tornado.
yes.
Oh, okay, that's crazy.
And then February of the next following year, around like February 8th or so, in the dream, Oklahoma gets hit by an E6. Never been, they only have to go up to E5. Tornadoes go by E5s, hurricanes go by um, F5s as the biggest and baddest. And both of them, yeah. And then also too, I had another dream about the volcano in Yellowstone going off next year.
Yeah. They've
And
been
it
predicting that one coming for a while. I really hope it
and it and
doesn't.
it and in the dream when it was done doing its thing, because what caused it to go off was not natural causes. It was a nuclear warhead embedded in it and set off. I didn't see what country it was and everything. All I saw was nuclear warhead was dropped into it, and it caused, because of it being agitated, by a nuclear warhead. It ended up causing a canyon so large that it literally split our country in half.
Well, I'm very happy that Edgar Casey saw the Ohio River Valley surviving all of this BS.
Why do you think I'm not leaving the land of 10,000 lakes? Okay, yeah, I've been checking those maps, and no matter what type of map it is and what they're all very similar in shape, but they always show that where I'm at, man, it's gonna be perfectly fine. My husband's like, "Oh, let's move to that." Nope, that's gonna be underwater about 10 years. Well, let's move here. Nope, that's gonna be underwater too. Shoot, but every map shows the new beachfront is gonna be Arizona. So that song, sorry, by George Strait, Oceanfront Property in Arizona is going to have a new meaning, baby. He predicted the future in that song. It was sarcasm. Child, not come by 2034, according to most of these foolishness. But anyways, Honey Badger says, like those maps along with the new Merid fault. Yep. And they're also saying that the Earth is showing signs that the poles are starting to shift. And every time, and they have proof that it's shifted more than once. And every time that it's happened, they've been scientifically been able to prove and something catastrophic, weather-wise, Earth-wise, and everything happens because of the magnetism of the poles dramatically shifting. So it's time to buckle up and ride that horse, baby.
Yep. We've got this.
Oh, yeah. Amen, honey. So, everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, sweet baby, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure to have you. Like I said,
Thank you.
Go psychicscoffee.com, where you can order fresh roasted coffees and loose leaf teas, or go to under psychic readings and you can look up me, Reverend Patience, or my girl here, spiritual advisor Elizabeth, or any of our other spiritual advisors. And and like I said, let us help you, guide you to where you need to be. Indigo psychicscoffee.com for coffee and clarity. Love y'all. Good night.